Here are the 5 reasons why you're not getting matches on dating apps, and if you fix these mistakes, you're gonna skyrocket your results. I've looked at well over 1,000 profiles of men who are struggling to get results online, and there are certain patterns that emerge every single time. So make sure you guys watch until the very end so you don't make any of these common mistakes. The first one is simply poor presentation. Like if you create a profile as a girl, see guys just look like they're just not put together. And really this is not that hard. You just need a good haircut, right? You need to have your beard lined up so it doesn't look messy. And of course, you need to have clothes that fit you well. That bare minimum threshold is just not met by most guys. Let's take a look at some examples. So for a guy on the left, while it does look like that his beard and his haircut is on point, look how hairy his arms are. Like if he's going to do a tank top photo, he definitely needs to shave his arms because it looks like he's just a gorilla. Second guy is wearing clothes that are just way too loose on him, right? Like these are clothes designed for a guy that's like 3 times his weight, right? Also not put together. Here, let's take a look at another example. So here's a before. You can see this guy just kind of looks a little sloppy, right? He's got like the balding, receding hairline. I wouldn't know anything about that. And it just kind of looks messy, right? And compare that to the second photo where he's wearing clothes that fit him well. He kind of, grew out his beard a little bit, shaved his head. He just looks a lot more put together. And that's what you need for dating apps. You want to look put together rather than just a slob. Second issue is unflattering facial expressions. You see this all the time. Like the majority of guys look like their mouth is half open, their eyes are half closed. They look like, they just look like they're fucking retarded or they look like a serial killer, right? You don't want that. You want to have either confident grin or just have a neutral facial expression. Let's take a look at some examples. So you can see the first guy on the left here. He looks like he's just like really nervous, right? He just looks like he's like it's a forced smile. It's not a real smile. In that case, he's just better off keeping his mouth closed. Second guy, yeah, I mean, he looks like basically retarded in this photo, even though he's a totally normal dude, right? Like his mouth is half open, his eyes are like this, right? He just doesn't look good. And I want to show you guys really the power of facial expressions. Take a look at these 2 photos, right? So the one on the left is a guy with a really weird facial expression. Now, granted, the photo on the right did involve some much better grooming, right? So combining the first point, but look at how much better he looks when he just keeps his mouth in a neutral position. Especially combined with the grooming, it's like he's a whole new person. Issue number 3, underselling your looks. So if you're like a 6 in real life, you should look like a 7, 7.5 in your photos. However, the majority of guys who are 6 are going to look like a 3 or 4 in their Tinder photos. And girls have been aware of this for decades. They understand that lighting, angles, and all that plays a huge role, so they're going to look better in their photos, but the majority of guys are going to look worse in their photos than they do in real life, and that's an easy mistake to fix. So let's take a look at some examples. So the first guy, yeah, I mean, first of all, we can barely see his face, and of course, his face is just really scrunched over because he's trying to get a photo. Just looks very unflattering. Second guy, horrible angle. The angle is from here, right? And that's going to make him look like he's a lot fatter, looks like he has a double chin, and if he had just taken a photo from eye level rather than like stomach level, he would have looked a lot better here. Let's take a look at also a photo of me. So here we have the one on the left, and yeah, I just don't look that flattering. Compare that to the photo on the right, which was literally taken 1 or 2 minutes apart. Like these photos were taken so close to each other, I just look a million times better. And again, that's lighting, angles, and facial expressions. Things that are very easy to control can make a big difference in how you look. Issue number 4 is missing that sex appeal factor, right? When a girl looks like your photos, she should think, damn, that's a real man. That's the kind of guy that can fuck the shit out of me. Instead, most of the time when she's going through Tinder, she thinks, oh, that's a little boy. And here we can take a look at some examples. So first photo on the left, he's not a bad looking dude, right? But he just gives this very boyish energy. Like no girl's gonna look at him and be like, yeah, that guy's just gonna fucking take me to town. Compared to the photo on the right, now this guy just looks like a full-on slob. So combining the things we mentioned earlier, but yeah, like this just does not look like a confident, dominant guy. It looks like just some fat ass who just lays on the ground because he's too lazy to walk. And so let's take a look at an example. So here we have, this is going to be the same guys you're going to see later, right? First photos, he's on this little thing. Second photo, even though he's military, he just doesn't look that confident. Right, girls are going to look at this and be like, yeah, like this guy's nothing. He's not a real man. And then compare that to the photos here. Same exact dude, right? Better grooming, right? Better fashion. But he just looks so much more confident, assertive, dominant. When a girl looks at these photos, she's going to think, damn, okay, that's a man. that's a man that's going to do some fucking shit to me, some shit that's going to be illegal in like 45 states, right? And it's just, again, a big difference. And you want to come off as a confident, dominant man rather than just a little boy. Issue number 5, looking too posed in your photos. So the ideal vibe you want is you were just out there doing some cool, badass activity, and one of your friends just randomly took a photo of you. You might have not even known the camera was there. That's how candid it is. And again, ironically, a good professional photographer will be able to recreate that for you. So it's not really about whether a friend took a photo or a photographer did. It's more about the vibe of the photo. So let's take a look at some examples that illustrate this point. So here we have on the left, this guy's basically taking a selfie. Obviously, this photo is posed, right? Because how else would it happen? It's a selfie. Compared to the photo on the right, it looks like he was working, maybe taking some business calls, and one of his friends was like, yo, buddy, yo, man, you're working really hard. Let me get a photo of you. Bam, done. Right? It looks a lot more authentic and natural. Okay, let's take a look at guy number 2. So again, here we have a selfie. It's looking like he's taking a photo after the gym. Compare that to this photo, right? Where he's walking a dog, you know, he just looks like he's just chilling, going about his day. And one of his friends is like, yo, you have a cute dog. Bam, photo taken. And of course, guy number 3. Now this one's going to be a bit more subtle because they're basically kind of standing in a very similar way. But if we look at the one on the left, the guy's like looking down the camera. It looks like he's kind of bored, right? It looks like he's just waiting for the photo to be over with. Compared to the guy on the right, it looks like he's just walking towards a business meeting and someone just casually took a photo of him. So again, you want to look as natural as possible in your photos, or at least in the majority of your photos, because if your photos look posed, that's going to be very unattractive to women. And to wrap things up, I want to show you guys a full profile transformation because this difference is going to be huge. So here we have the first one. This is the before profile. And big surprise, this guy was not getting many matches, right? And there's a myriad of issues here. He looks like a massive nice guy. You know, he has awkward facial expressions. He's not put together. He doesn't have any sex appeal factor. The photos look superposed. Just name the issue, right? And then compare that to the after profile that he got together. And look at this, just massive difference, much more sex appeal. He looks a lot more natural in these photos, right? His facial expressions are better. His grooming is better. The presentation is better. Basically, everything is better. And he starts seeing a massive difference in results after he got these photos compared to the previous ones, which leads me to the final point, which is that it doesn't really matter what your looks are. Everyone can level up their dating results by improving their photography. I've seen good-looking guys struggle to get matches because their photos suck, and I've seen average-looking guys do pretty well because they have really, really good photos. So if you avoid the mistakes I mentioned in this video, you can definitely level up your matches and start going on more dates. Speaking of which, make sure you check out my free Tinder guide. Link's in the description. It's going to teach you more about photography, how to write the kind of bio that makes you stand out, and text games to take all those leads you're going to get and turn them into dates. Thank you guys. Until next time.